In this lesson, we will consider communication situations for supervisors. In particular, we will look at how supervisors can communicate effectively with the people whom they supervise. Communications must be clear, direct, and effective, and we also want to make them as cordial and polite as the situation will allow. To begin, let's take a look at one of our handy business files. This file is devoted to supervisory starters. Supervisory starters. Andréane, I don't want to intrude, but are you having any problems you'd like to discuss? Isabelle, you seem distracted lately. Would you like to discuss anything with me or with our personnel department? Diane, we need to discuss the duties of your job and how they can best be accomplished on time. Can we meet tomorrow at 11 a.m.? Miss Leung, I would like to speak with you about your job performance and the recent reports from HRD. Would you please call Miss Crispy to schedule an appointment to discuss this? Mr. Regal, you've been rather inconsistent in your response to the request from my office. Would you please make an appointment with my secretary so we can discuss it? Dr. Sturm, would you please make an appointment with my secretary, Rachel Ravine, so that we can discuss our recent problems? Miss Baus, I would like to speak with you in my office at 4 o'clock today. Mr. Abbas, please come into my office. I need to speak to you on an important issue. Notice that these starters move from the most informal to the most formal. The first 3 starters are rather friendly. The problems are probably not so great. But the last 2 starters are serious. They are not even questions. They are as close as we get to real, polite commands in business English. Now, let me demonstrate. We will do an interactive practice which will require you to role-play typical supervisory situations. Example. Situation. Your assistant, Rohini, seems nervous, a little out of sorts, and you're worried about how it might affect his job. You? I don't want to intrude, Rohini, but are you having problems you'd like to discuss? Now, the problem at work, obviously, is not a big one, maybe only a potential problem. So a sensitive employer or personnel representative won't press in this case. If the answer is no, then for now, don't pursue it. All right, here's the practice. Let's try it. Speak aloud. That way, you have the advantage of hearing what you actually say. Situation. Your assistant, Rohini, seems nervous, a little out of sorts, and you're worried about how it might affect his job. You. You could say, I don't want to intrude, Rohini, but are you having problems you'd like to discuss? Of course, your input may vary, and that's okay. Compare your responses with mine. Situation 2. One of your employees, Miss Ramapong, did something stupid yesterday, and you need to make sure it doesn't happen again. You. You could say, Miss Ramapong, would you please make an appointment with my secretary, Rachel Ravine, so that we can discuss this recent problem? Situation number 3. You asked your assistant, Regina, to work late yesterday, and she did, but she seems annoyed today. Try to solve the problem if it exists quickly. You. Regina, we need to discuss the duties of your job and my request that you work late last night. I don't want there to be problems. Can you see me at 1 p.m. today? Situation number 4. Your executive assistant, Miss Sosa, has not been organized enough. It seems like you are doing most of the work. Plan to solve this problem. You. Well, you might say, Ms. Sosa, I need to speak to you about our office organization. Please arrange to meet with me at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Situation 5. Your sales manager, Min Lee, has not been able to rally the sales staff. The staffers have also let you know, via rumor, that she has treated them unkindly, sometimes insultingly. Arrange to discuss this with Miss Lee. You. Miss Lee, I need to speak to you about your sales operations immediately. Would you come by the office today at 5:30? Situation 6. Your office manager, Bill Crank, has just insulted one of your staffers in front of everyone in the main office. 2 clients were also in the waiting area. Deal with this. You. Mr. Crank, I want to see you in my office as soon as you finish with this morning's numbers. Please buzz Miss Oden as soon as you're ready. Situation number 7. Your office manager, Miriam Ulam, has told you that one of the staffers, Rita Minu, is out of control. She won't respond to your office manager's suggestions, and she antagonizes other staffers. Arrange to meet with her. You. Well, you would probably say something like this. Miss Minu, will you make an appointment with my assistant, Diane, so that we can discuss your recent work performance? Please do it as soon as possible. This is a serious issue. That's very good. Now, you may want to practice these situations a couple of times. The supervisory starters will be useful in many different circumstances, so you will want to be able to say them automatically. Now we go to general statements of a supervisory nature. This is one of the most critical aspects of business communications. Situations vary, of course, but these are some general expressions which are very useful. Several openers are listed in this business file. Supervisory openers. I want you all to know that I really appreciate the work you have done together. It's been remarkable. What's next? Well, here is the problem. You've all been extraordinarily cooperative and productive, and that needs saying, because our team efforts make us successful. Now, a new challenge. In the end, our success is dependent on our ability to work together, and you all have done that remarkably. Thanks. Here's another task. Teamwork is the key to the game, so even if your group has had difficulties, you will likely get better results if you praise and thank them. Then introduce the next task. Here are 3 situations which will allow you to open your conversation with your team or staff. The situation will simply outline the next job for your group. Open with a statement to your team, then indicate the next task. Here's an example. Situation: your group has just completed a successful project. Next, they must begin to design the Hays advertisement campaign. You. Okay, here's an example response. You've all been extraordinarily cooperative and productive, and that needs saying, because your team efforts make us successful. Now, a new challenge. I hope you will all contribute just as effectively in our efforts to complete the Hays advertising account. Okay, as you can see, there's a lot of room for variation here, and it's a lot of fun. You can be inventive, and you should try to do that. Okay? Let's try just a few of these situations. Number 1. Situation: your group has just completed a successful project. Next, they must begin to design the Hays advertisement campaign. You. All right, you may have responded. You've all been extraordinarily cooperative and productive, and that needs saying, because your team efforts make us successful. Now a new challenge. I hope you will all contribute just as effectively in our efforts to complete the Hays advertising account. Number 2, here's the situation. Your team must begin a new project. The members are cooperative and good workers. The new job is to create an employee orientation handbook. You. Here's a simple response. I want you all to know that I really appreciate the work you have done together. It's been remarkable. I know you'll help us complete this new project, the Employee Orientation Handbook. Number 3, here's the situation. Your office has done well, and they have been cooperative, but now there is a new and big challenge. Thank them and prepare them for the new work, designing a system for PenPro Corp. You. You might respond, we know that our success is dependent on our ability to work together, and you all have done that remarkably. Thanks. Here's another task, and I think you will find it challenging. We will design a system for PenPro Corp. That was very nice. This is an important lesson. The practices have not been easy. Please review them if you are unsure about them. Then you'll be ready to move on to the next lesson.